Apple's done it again. Just when you think you've seen it all, they drop a product that sends the internet into a complete and total meltdown. This time, it's not a groundbreaking new phone or a futuristic headset. No, it's a pocket. Specifically, the iPhone pocket. And let me tell you, the story behind this thing is even wilder than the product itself. So, Apple just announced this new carrying case, and the price tag is, wait for it, $229. That's right, $230 for what is essentially, and I'm quoting on X here, a cut-up sock. The mockery was instant and relentless. Pictures started flying around. Comparisons were made. My personal favorite, the one comparing it to Borat's infamous bright green mankini. I mean, you can't unsee it now, can you? It's uncanny. This little accessory, which looks suspiciously like a piece of knitted footwear, has become the internet's favorite punching bag overnight. Popular tech YouTuber Marks Brownlee, you know him, MKBHD, called it a litmus test for Apple fans. He basically said it's a way to see who will buy or defend anything Apple releases, no matter how absurd it seems. And he's got a point. Are we at a point where the logo alone justifies any price? Now, before we all grab our pitchforks, let's look at Apple's side of the story. According to their press release, this isn't just any old Sakai mean pocket. It's a high-fashion collaboration. Apple teamed up with the legendary Japanese fashion label Issey Miyake. If that name rings a bell, it should. Issey Miyake is the brand behind the iconic black turtleneck jumpers that Steve Jobs famously wore. So, there's history here. A deep connection to Apple's own aesthetic and its legendary co-founder. Apple said the whole concept was inspired by a piece of cloth and the simple idea of creating an additional pocket. It's meant to be minimalist, a fashion statement. The product comes in two versions, a short strap design with 8 different colors, and a long strap one with 3 colors. They're brightly colored, they're definitely unique, and they are, without a doubt, a conversation starter. But the internet conversation wasn't exactly what Apple might have hoped for. The biggest sticking point, besides the price, is the design's practicality, or lack thereof. As one person on X pointed out, it has no zip, no real structure, and it's open at the top, with iPhone thefts being a hale concern. Noticia, these days. Is an open-topped, easily snatched sock pouch really the best way to carry your $1,000 device? It seems like you re-just advertising your very expensive phone to any potential thief in the area. It's like, hello, please take my iPhone. The reactions have really split people into two camps. On one side, you have the critics, who see this as the ultimate proof that Apple fans will pay for anything. They see it as a symbol of corporate greed, a company so confident in its brand loyalty that it can sell a piece of fabric for the price of a decent mid-range smartphone. They're making memes, they're roasting the design, and they're questioning the sanity of anyone who would even consider buying it. But on the other side, there are the defenders, and their argument is actually pretty interesting. They're pointing to the Issey Miyake collaboration. They see it not as a simple phone case, but as a piece of designer fashion, a collector's item. In their eyes, the price isn't for the function of carrying a phone. It's for the art, the brand, and the story. They call it a nod to the history of Apple, a wearable piece of the legacy shared between Steve Jobs and Issey Miyake. From this perspective, it's less of a tech accessory and more of a luxury good, like a designer handbag or a pair of high-end sneakers. Social media analyst Matt Navarro weighed in, and he put it perfectly. He said the price tag is less about function and more about form, branding, and exclusivity. He reminded everyone that this kind of pricing is standard in the world of luxury fashion. Think about it. People pay thousands for handbags that, functionally, do the same thing as a $50 one. They're paying for the brand, the status, the craftsmanship, and the design. So, is the iPhone Pocket any different? The problem is, Apple is a tech company, not a luxury fashion house. Or is it? This move blurs the lines. For most of us, Apple is the company that makes the computers we work on and the phones we QAUN live without. We expect innovation and function from them. So, when they release something that feels more at home on a Paris runway than in a Best Buy, it causes a bit of a system shock. Navarra thinks Apple is testing the limits of brand loyalty. They're re-seeing just how far they can push the perception of their brand from a tech giant into a full-blown luxury lifestyle label. Let's be real for a moment. This isn't the first time Apple has charged a premium for its accessories. Remember the $1,000 Pro stand for their monitor, or the $70 wheels for the Mac Pro, or even the $19 polishing cloth. Each time the internet went crazy, and each time people still bought them. Apple knows its audience. There's a segment of their customer base that values design, exclusivity, and the brand name above all else. This iPhone Pocket is aimed squarely at them. So, what's the final verdict? Is this a ridiculous, overpriced cash grab? Or is it a misunderstood piece of high-fashion art? Honestly, it's probably a little bit of both. For 99% of the population, spending $230 on a knitted phone holder is objectively insane. You could buy so many actual, useful things with that money. You could buy a whole other phone. But for that 1%, the fashion-forward tech enthusiast, the collector, the die-hard Apple historian, this might be the coolest thing ever. It's a statement piece. It's a piece of history. It's a fusion of two iconic brands. And for them, the price might be justified. Ultimately, this whole episode says more about our relationship with brands than it does about Apple itself. It shows how powerful a logo can be, and how a good story like the connection to Steve Jobs can transform a simple object into something desirable. Whether it's a genius marketing move or a sign that Apple has finally lost touch with reality, one thing is for sure. Everyone is talking about it. And in today's world, maybe that's the whole point. What do you guys think? Is this the dumbest product of the year? Or is it a cool piece of designer tech? Let me know down in the comments. I'm genuinely curious to see where you all land on this. Is it a sock or is it art? Thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed this little dive into the latest tech drama, make sure to like and subscribe for more. See you in the next one.